Dr. Sands here. Welcome to this tutorial on the radar model of ethics. Ethical problems in organizations rarely appear without warning. Most of the time, there are signals that something is beginning to drift. A questionable shortcut, pressure to meet a target, silence after a concern is raised, or a decision that benefits the organization while placing stakeholders at risk. The radar model helps us think through those situations in a structured way. It gives leaders, employees, and students a practical process for identifying ethical issues, preventing misconduct, discovering hidden risks, answering stakeholder concerns, and recovering when mistakes occur. Many ethical failures do not begin with one major act of misconduct. They often begin with small decisions that seem harmless at the time. A report is adjusted, a complaint is delayed, a policy exception is made, a team member is pressured to just get it done. The danger is that these small compromises can become normal if no one recognizes them early. That is why ethical radar matters. It helps an organization detect warning signs before they become cultural habits or public crises. Radar stands for 5 connected actions. First, recognize the ethical issue. Second, avoid misconduct before it occurs. Third, discover risk areas that may be hidden or overlooked. Fourth, answer stakeholder concerns with honesty and accountability. Fifth, recover by repairing harm and strengthening the system. Together, these 5 actions help organizations move from reactive compliance to proactive ethical leadership. The first step is recognize. Ethical awareness begins when we ask whether a situation involves more than a routine business decision. A decision may involve honesty, fairness, safety, privacy, transparency, conflicts of interest, or the responsible treatment of stakeholders. Recognition requires us to slow down and examine whether values, responsibilities, or people may be in conflict. A useful question is, what ethical concern may be present here even if no one has named it yet? The second step is avoid. Once an ethical risk has been recognized, leaders should ask how the organization can prevent misconduct before it happens. Avoiding misconduct requires more than telling people to do the right thing. Organizations need clear policies, realistic expectations, effective training, safe reporting channels, aligned incentives, and leadership that models integrity. When ethical systems are weak, people may feel pressured to compromise. When ethical guardrails are strong, people are more likely to make responsible decisions. The third step is discover. Some ethical risks are visible, but many are hidden beneath routine processes, performance reports, employee concerns, customer complaints, or inconsistent practices across departments. Discovery may involve audits, employee surveys, exit interviews, compliance reviews, customer feedback, incident reports, and process analysis. This step is not about blame. It is about learning where the organization may be vulnerable so that corrective action can happen before the harm becomes greater. The fourth step is answer. When an ethical concern becomes known, stakeholders will want to understand what happened and what the organization is doing about it. Employees may wonder whether leadership is taking the issue seriously. Customers may question whether they can still trust the organization. Regulators may ask whether laws or standards were violated. The public may expect transparency and accountability. A responsible answer acknowledges the concern, explains what is known, clarifies what is still being reviewed, identifies immediate actions, and commits to follow up. Improved image concept, a leader communicating to employees, customers, regulators, and community members with icons for facts, trust, action, and follow up. The final step is recover. Recovery is not simply returning to normal. If the normal system allowed the ethical issue to happen, then normal must change. True recovery includes repairing harm, restoring trust, improving policies, strengthening controls, holding people accountable, and learning from what happened. The goal is not image management. The goal is ethical improvement. Let's apply the radar model to a real-world workplace example. Imagine a department is under pressure to meet quarterly performance targets. A manager tells employees to delay recording customer complaints until after the reporting period. The manager says, "We are not ignoring the complaints, we are just reporting them later." Using radar, the issue becomes clearer. Recognize, the department is distorting performance data. Avoid, Reporting rules and incentive systems need to be clarified. Discover, leadership should determine whether similar delays are happening elsewhere. Answer, stakeholders may need an honest explanation of what happened and what is being corrected. Recover, the organization should correct the reports, address accountability, and revise the system that encouraged the behavior. The radar model works best when it becomes part of the organization's culture. It should not be used only after something goes wrong. Radar encourages ethical awareness, prevention, detection, transparency, and learning. It reminds leaders that ethics is not only a policy document or training requirement. Ethics is reflected in daily decisions, incentives, communication, accountability, and the way people are treated. Before closing, consider these questions. Where might ethical risks exist in your organization, team, or department? Are there areas where employees may feel pressure to compromise values in order to meet performance expectations? Are reporting channels safe and trusted? When concerns are raised, does leadership respond with transparency and accountability? And when mistakes happen, does the organization focus on learning and improvement or mainly on protecting its image? The radar model gives us a practical structure for ethical leadership: recognize the issue, avoid misconduct, discover hidden risks, answer stakeholder concerns, recover, and improve. Ethical leadership is not only about knowing what is right, it is about building the awareness, systems, courage, and accountability needed to do what is right. Thank you for watching. If this tutorial was helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who teaches, studies, or practices ethical leadership.